Hey there. So we are going to do a movie review of Jaya 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 Jaya. Hey. What is that?
Like, it sounds like an anthem.
It's an anthem. That you are correct. It is an anthem. I think they're being a little tongue in cheek with this movie because apparently it's a drama comedy. That's what
Dramedy?
comedy. I didn't see a ton of humor, a little bit.
Yeah,
But
same.
so we thought, I think we did a review. I think I did a review with Mark a few months ago, but let's take a quick look at the trailer so that we're both on the same page and that, we'll see it. Because this is a really good movie, I think, for women to review. It's basically from the woman's point of view. And I think it's got some important things to say about, what. I am going to play this trailer and we will take a look and we'll talk about it after we see it. Okay. And you guys will just kind of maybe comment during the trailer because we do have a trailer reaction to this. So here we go.
ഒരു കുടുംബ ജീവിതത്തിൽ ഒരു സ്ത്രീക്ക് വേണ്ട 3 കാര്യങ്ങൾ എന്തൊക്കെയാണെന്ന് പറ.
അതങ്ങനെ പെട്ടെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാ
നെവർ ഇന്ദിരാന്തി വളർത്തിയ പോലെ ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ വളർത്തും.
പക്ഷെ മുടി വേണം കേട്ടോ, അല്ലെ കല്യാണം നടക്കത്തില്ല.
സ്ത്രീകൾ ആദ്യമായി പുറത്തുപോയി ജോലി ചെയ്ത് വിപ്ലവം സൃഷ്ടിച്ച നാടുകളിലൊന്നാണ് കൊല്ലം.
ജയ, നീ ഒരുപാട് കഷ്ടപ്പെടുന്നുണ്ടല്ലേ. എന്റെ തുണി അലക്കുന്നു, ഉണക്കുന്നു, എനിക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഇടിയപ്പം ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നു. പക്ഷെ എനിക്ക് നിനക്ക് എന്തെങ്കിലും ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് തരണം എന്നൊരാഗ്രഹം. നിനക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഞാൻ എന്താ ചെയ്യേണ്ടത് ചോദിക്കേ.
എന്റെ വലിയച്ഛന്റെ മോനാണ് രാജേഷ്. ഞാൻ വളർന്നു വന്ന ജീവിത സാഹചര്യം അതുപോലെയാണല്ലോ.
അമ്മയുടെ ഒന്ന് കാച്ച നല്ല എണ്ണ വാങ്ങിച്ചു തരും. അത് വെച്ചിട്ടാണ് എനിക്ക് കട്ട വീഴ്ചയൊക്കെ വന്നത്.
അണ്ണൻ അങ്ങനെ സംഭവിക്കാത്ത ആണ്.
അവന് വേറെ കുഴപ്പമൊന്നുമില്ലല്ലോ.
എന്തോ പെൻസിലാ?
ഒന്ന് കണ്ണെഴുതി തരുമോ?
കണ്ണ ഈ രാജേഷിന്റെ അടുത്ത് സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോ മജയാക്കി സംസാരിക്കണം.
ലോകാവസാനത്തിന്റെ ലക്ഷണമാണു മക്കളെ. ഇയാൾക്കെന്നെ ഇഷ്ടമാണ്.
ജയ ഹേ ജയ ഹേ ജയ 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 ഹേ.
So those were the funniest parts.
Literally the only funny part.
They're literally the funniest parts. They did make me appreciate the humor they were trying to bring. I love how he screamed like a little girl when he saw that snake shadow in the window. It was hilarious.
I loved it.
So we start off so promising with this really independent woman who wanted to like go to school and have a career and do all this stuff. And guess what happens? Family not so into it.
They force her into getting married. Shocking.
You can always go to school, get married first. Because you go to school, you get ruined. Like, oh man.
How too smart. Can't be smarter than your husband.
No.
Can't get a husband if you're going to school.
So sad. And then she really liked her professor because he was very much into, telling women to be strong and to pursue their dreams. And I think she was kind of crushing on him a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm reading into that. But that's what I got. And then she had to go off and get married because her family insisted, right?
Yeah.
So I love the actor Basil Joseph because he had such a puppy dog look. He looked like the nicest guy. He was not a nice guy.
No, he was a dick. Like, I mean, the worst. I mean, just like, yeah.
Yeah. It's that sort of, I'll be nice to you. And then when you make me mad, then this is kind of your fault. I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. So he kept saying, I'm a nice guy. All his family's like, he was fine until he got married. I don't think he was. I love the scene. There were a lot of really smart things in it. Like, I love when she got married. She walks into the house she's going to live in, the family house. She looks around. She sees broken shit.
Right?
Broken walls, like a broken mirror, a leg on a chair. And you're just like,
Like, what did you walk into?
Throwing shit. Yeah, that was really, that got scary. Like, I felt kind of a weird, sick suspense throughout the movie, even though it was supposed to be kind of funny. It just,
Well, because his temper's like,
yeah,
it's so short.
abrupt.
Yes, and it's kind of like, they don't date really at all. It's just
Yeah.
kind of like, oh yeah, he's great on the outside, so you
Yeah.
have no idea that he's a nutcase,
Mhm.
and horrible
Yeah.
until
But
'cause
he
he
was
even
fine until he met her, and
yeah,
she's just
and
making him crazy. I mean,
it's
this is all
her
her
fault.
fault. He's
It's
totally
everything's her fault. And like, he told her she could stay in school and finish because she was so close, and then nope, just kidding.
Yeah, you can stay in school, but do it later. Right now, you have things you need to do for me. It's like, oh boy. And then I love when they show her doing all the laundry and drying the chilies and doing all this stuff. And he's just like, you do so much. What can I do? Oh, well, I don't know. Next. It's just like, wow, okay. You tried for like 1 second. So bad.
Right? But like, I loved when she started doing those YouTube videos and like learning.
So funny. And so here she is. She's in this marriage that he abruptly slaps her one day, and she's like, "Whoa!" So of course she kind of is like, "Wait, okay, maybe that was just a one-off, right?" So they
Right.
keep happening, keep slapping her, which is just so disturbing, right? And she talks to her parents, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you got to deal with that sometimes." It's like, really? And
It's
then
like
you're like, "That's
you're
just
not
not."
even gonna say a word? Like, it's yeah.
Oh, it was just sad. And so
It
I
was
love that all of a sudden she becomes like a superhero, right? She
yes.
starts training, she starts learning karate. She's like, doing push-ups, and she's kicking the wall. And I love it, like he all of a sudden starts noticing footprints on the wall in the bathroom. He's
Oh
kind of
my
like,
god, I
what's
loved
all
it.
this?
He's like, "What are you doing?"
I know. So he tries to slap her one day. She just holds up her arm, and he realizes she's blocked him. And he's like, "What?" And then she starts fighting back, kicks him, knocks him right into something, breaks something. And I'm like, that was a great, like, kind of like, oh, thank God. But at the same time, you don't want violence to fight violence. You
Right.
know, I mean, that was the funny part, a woman beating up a guy, but still, just
Right.
I don't know. And then, of course, and again, this is treated with a bit of a wink, which is really hard to pull off because this is not a winky kind of topic at all. So, then you get into where he starts training so he can beat her up. And then she's
Right.
training. So then you have this man training to beat his wife,
To
and it's
beat his
supposed to be
wife.
funny. And I'm like,
It's
oh
not.
no, it's
And
not
they like
funny.
kind of missed the mark there, but I think it was just the kind of a customary, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just the filming. But
Yeah.
and then they kind of all like it just gets worse and worse. So her
Yeah.
parents get called over, right? And they're
Yeah.
like,
Big,
"Oh,
big.
everything's fine. Oh, we promise he's going to be better. It's great. You just need to get pregnant."
Oh, yeah, that'll solve.
What?
And yeah, his friends are saying, just get her pregnant. Then she'll be
Yeah,
distracted and you won't have to worry about her beating you up.
right.
It's
She'll
like,
be fine.
what the hell?
Everything will get better. It's like,
Nothing gets
what?
better. It doesn't get better. It
What?
gets worse. It just doesn't.
It was
Fortunately, that
nuts.
didn't happen. Thank God. Well,
Correct.
almost happened. Right.
It
Ugh.
almost
Yeah. So then, basically it builds and builds. Nobody's happy. It's sad because I think you mentioned this off mic, but that everyone's talking except for them. They will not talk to each other. They
right.
won't talk out their problems. They counsel each other, like they talk to their parents and their friends, and their friends tell them what to do. And then, he kind of tries to sort of do some of that. His friend's like, just text her a heart, say something. And he's like, well, what can I say? He doesn't even know what to say to her in a text to be nice. Like, he's like, I don't know what to say. He's like, just send her a heart. Heart emoji. And she gets it and she's like, the hell is this? Like, what is he sending me right now? Ugh,
Right.
it was painful to watch. But
Yeah.
her kicking his ass was fun to watch, but at the same time, it was that sort of duality of, I don't want women in abusive relationships to defend themselves by fighting
Right.
physically. It should be, getting out or getting counseling. And I don't know if that even ever works technically for something like that. I mean, who knows? Maybe it does. I don't know. I don't know. It just gave me kind of queasy feeling, the movie. Even though there were some funny moments, like I saw them, like, well, that was pretty funny. I love how he kept driving the truck badly. He kept running into things, scraping mirrors off on walls. He didn't know how to drive that truck for shit.
Oh my god, he was the worst driver. I couldn't.
It's not good. And I have chickens, and I did not like how they treated their chickens. It was just sad. I had to fast forward some of that. I didn't like it when they're dragging them around by their little wings. That wasn't cool. That's just me. My little animal disclaimer.
Don't hurt
Animal
the
violence.
animals. Don't hurt the animals.
Woman's
Flipping-
being beat. I'm worried about the animals.
I know. It's fine.
But I think a highlight for me in this movie was the judge at the end, Maju Pillai.
Yes.
Oh my God, she was amazing. I loved that so much. That made the whole movie worthwhile. That last.
Well, I
scene.
thought it was interesting that she kind of flipped,
Yeah.
like changed her tune, right? So originally she was like yelling at Jaya for, assaulting her husband. And it was,
Mhm.
what are you doing? This is ridiculous. And then he starts talking.
Yeah, he starts talking.
And
That was
then
his
the
first
judge,
mistake.
who was a woman, is like, oh,
It's like, oh, hold on.
okay, wait.
What is happening?
I understand what's going on now. You're not wrong. This is fine.
It was so bad. And I love the question, what do you think women get out of a marriage? And he's like, doesn't know what to say. She's like,
No.
it's better. He goes, what is it? Cooking, like
Right.
doing chores,
Doing
like
just taking
terrible
care of
thing.
kid-
And
Yeah.
she goes, no, freedom, independence. Like she was naming all this. Women want to have their own agency. They want to be able to have freedom. They want to be able to have careers. They want, like,
Yes.
this guy's
Like
all
everybody
like,
else.
well, I think what a woman really wants is to, to
To
go,
just be arranged in a marriage and everything's going to be fine.
yeah, just to be someone around the house to do the chores. That's what he thought women wanted. And so then the judge was like, yeah, we got a problem. It was
Like, no.
not
you
good,
need
not good. And he kept talking. His friend's trying to help. No, say this, say this. He
I
gets
know.
it wrong. And she's like, oh, why don't you stand up? Didn't you and your wife also, weren't you in this court a little while ago? Oh my God, it was so bad. So there were moments. It's definitely, it's a well-directed film, well acted. It's a really, really tricky balancing act of trying to bring humor to something that's just not funny.
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of this film. I mean,
It was hard to watch.
but it was hard to watch. I just,
Yeah.
there's no second watch. Is
Yeah, no.
is
that'd
what
be
we're
no
getting
second.
at here.
I mean,
But-
I enjoyed the trailer because you got to see the fun stuff, but in between, it's really heartbreaking and sad.
It's a
and
lot. It's rough.
It's a lot. And I really hope that she succeeds. She seemed like a really cool woman. She seemed like she was doing well eventually.
Well, I mean, at the end of the film,
Mhm.
I mean, she ends up, purchasing the rival
Yes.
poultry farm and just blows him out of the water. So it's like,
I love that.
you
It was
know,
farm he wanted, but he was being cheap and just wanted to
Yeah,
undercut and take the guy's business. And she decided she's going to buy it. That was really good.
Yeah.
Even though I kind of wanted her to just get out altogether.
I know,
But,
I know, but I'm like, well, it's fine. But she's taking. It was kind of like sweet revenge because she was taking something that he wanted because she was better at it.
And they also, this is where I feel like they also kind of like kind of blew the landing a little bit at the end, where she comes in, she's like, I'm here, this is my farm, and all these guys come at her with shovels, picks,
She's
hammers,
like trying to
and
like
she's
fight the goons off,
yeah,
right?
I guess it was kind of supposed to be symbolic because I guess that's what it feels like. When you're a woman in business, it feels like you're constantly being assaulted by
Yeah.
men who don't believe in you, don't listen to you, don't care, don't appreciate your authority. So maybe it was supposed to be symbolic, but what I'm seeing is a bunch of men trying to attack a woman with weapons and she's fighting them off. But that was our ending.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. So as much as I enjoyed a lot of it, it was a rough one. And I was sort of 50-50 on it because I appreciated it, but at the same time,
Yeah, I didn't love it. It was good though. It was
good, but it's one of those movies you appreciate, but it's hard to watch, and
Yeah.
it's a hard message, and I don't know if they really got the message across. Maybe they were trying to, at least to me, to my
I
eyes, as a
feel like it.
Westerner.
yes.
It's like,
I did they
I felt like
missed
it
the
didn't.
mark on the film is
I think they did too.
from
And there's a lot of this in a lot of Indian films. We've seen a few, like The Great Indian Kitchen. This was like The Great Indian Kitchen a lot, like a little bit more amplified. But it was that same thing of like this independent woman gets roped into this marriage and he's abusive. She's feels underappreciated. She has her own dreams that no one cares about. It was almost exactly the same, just a little more amped up and more humorous.
yeah. I
But
agree.
Yeah, so there's our review. Let us know what you thought. If you've seen it, is there anything we missed? Is there, let us know if you have a different point of view, because I'd love to hear some other points of view on this. It's like we're not the only ones who've seen this, so please tell us what you thought of this movie. All right.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.